Hey everyone, and welcome to yet another meeting of the Tropical Rum Society. As always, I'm Matt, and today it is the 1st of December here, and that means it's the start of my favourite month of the year. I'm a huge fan of Christmas. It's also fun to have a nice summer going on down here in Australia. So, what better way to start the month than with some rum? Because I'm so excited, we're just going to jump straight into things, and today we are looking at another of Captain Morgan's tropical series. Now, we have looked at one of their tropical, well, I was about to say rum, but as we will talk about, this is actually only 30% ABV, which makes it a spirit-based drink, much like the other tropical one we saw. Now, last time it was mango and pineapple. Today, it's coconut and watermelon. Very similar color. Interesting that they've gone that same color for both of the tropicals. It makes them a little bit hard to distinguish when you see them on the shelf. Now, I don't have any of the other one to compare this against. I did finish that bottle, didn't have too much of it left when we were actually doing that review last time. But this one, brand new bottle, unopened. So we're going to crack it open, take a look, and see what it's like. Interestingly, on the bottle, it does say that it is a spiced spirit-based drink, so it does have some spices in there in addition to that coconut and watermelon. But knowing how artificial the previous Captain Morgan Tropical was, I'm guessing that that coconut and watermelon is going to way overpower those spices, probably going to be very difficult to pick those out. So I think it's about time we open this one up, have a sniff, and find out whether this is heavier on the coconut or the watermelon. So as I'm opening this up here, as you can see, we've got one of those tiki style bottles again, which we had in the previous Captain Morgan Tropical. And I also noticed that the captain has a tiny little flower behind his ear, which fun little detail on there. I'll do a zoom in on that later, but let's get this in the glass. As you can see, very artificial pink sort of color. I've done a bit of a big pour there, but being 30%, probably not going to matter too much. All right. I should have done this with my other hand. Let's put that over there. Nice. And we'll have a sniff. So it seems like coconut is the primary flavor here. Let's have another one. Watermelon's usually a pretty easy flavor to overpower, so I think they've definitely done that here. I mean, there's maybe some tiny hints of watermelon in there, but coconut is definitely the one that's coming out to me. It also reminds me of some apricot as well. Like we had these little apricot, like pressed fruit sticks when I was a kid. IXL bars, I think they were called. It does seem very similar in its smell to that. So it's a mix of like coconut sunscreen and those apricot IXL bars. Not a huge amount of watermelon. Definitely not really getting any of those spices that are meant to be in there. Now, this is not too overpowering. Like, it's definitely an artificial sort of smell, but it's not like hitting me in the face when I put my nose into the glass. Like, it's not overwhelming in the amount of artificial flavor that's in there, but it definitely does not smell like a fresh coconut or a fresh watermelon. That being said, I think it is a little bit better than the mango and pineapple version, because that definitely just smelled like fake sweetness, whereas this is a little bit more muted, a little bit more toned down. That being said, let's see if it matches that in the taste by having a sip. So that's pretty much what I was expecting. Like, that tastes very similar to how it smells. I'm guessing because they've just pumped it full. There's a tiny little fly in here. Do you mind? I'm trying to record. All right, following that little cameo of our special fly guest, let's get back on track here. And yes, the way that this tastes is very similar to the way that it smells, probably because of all of that added flavor. So it's hard on that coconut, don't really get too much of the watermelon. That apricot smell that I was getting, not as present in the taste. The taste itself very, very much centers around that coconut. It is sweet, but it does not feel like a rum sweetness. It feels like an added sweetness. I don't think they added sugar, but I think the coconut flavoring that they added had some sweetness to it. Now, this is not terrible if you're going to use it in the way that it's intended. So much like the tropical pineapple and mango version, I think that this is mostly made for producing summer drinks. Like on the back, it says to add some lemonade to it, and I think that that is pretty much the way that you would want to go with this. It is definitely not a sipping sort of rum unless you are someone who's pretty into coconut and sweetness. Like if you don't like coconut, this is not the rum for you. Like this is not it. This seems to be something that has been made for those people who enjoy some coconut and want that kind of mixed in to a little bit of a summery drink that you would be having that's fairly low alcohol but still has a little bit in there so you get a bit buzzed. It seems like the sort of thing to use for day drinking for sure. Also, if you are mixing this in with some lemonade, it's going to give your drink a nice little pink tinge to it, which will probably be pretty nice to see in a drink out on a table on a bright summer's day as well. So what do we think of this one overall? I would say that it's probably better than the mango and pineapple version that I had, just from the amount that it's kind of toned things down. Mango and pineapple I do like more as like actual flavors, but when drinking that one, it was really, really heavy on them. Like it had just gone hard on those flavors and definitely gave it a lot of artificial sweetness that I just am not finding quite as prevalent in this one. While this one definitely doesn't seem like it's any degree of fresh fruit that has been mixed in with your rum, it does have some balance to it. Like it takes things down a notch and just makes it a little bit more believable, I suppose. So this one I would rate higher than the previous one, even though I like the flavors of mango and pineapple more. Will I be finishing this bottle? Absolutely I will, but it will be through mixing it. I don't think I'm going to be drinking this one straight. I'll probably give some sips to some friends who do like that coconut flavor. Might give it to a few people that don't like it as well without telling them what it is, just to see their reaction to the coconut. But overall, it's going to be one to get through fairly easily. Like it's not one that I'm going to be leaving on the back of the shelf and just hoping that other people will take care of it for me or anything like that. Like I'll have another sip here. It's not bad. It's easy to drink, but definitely would go better with some lemonade. So that's going to do it on the coconut and watermelon tropical version of Captain Morgan. I'm going to finish this off. We're going to put the bottle over onto the shelf, and I look forward to seeing you in the next few videos here in December. It's always my favorite month. It always gets me excited. So if you want to see more of these videos in the coming weeks, hit that subscribe button. As always, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next meeting. Thanks for stopping by.